Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are painting this elemental creature. Um, and it's a marmoset, which is a type of monkey. The idea was wanting to draw something a little more human-like. I know it's not as human as I was thinking in the end, but I went for the marmoset because it is kind of small and cute, and it does have some human-like features. I guess, four limbs, and um we don't have tails, but it has some interesting features, and it has an interesting character as well. I wanted to do At the beginning, I wanted to do like a monkey that was um like one element, like a fire monkey or something like that. But looking at Pokemon and that kind of thing, I was like, well, that's kind of already done a lot. There is a lot of kind of, I think there's nearly all of them are covered in a way. There's a fire monkey, um there is there's a general normal ape kind of looking thing, back from the normal first series. And there is like now water ape and kind of monkey kind of a thing. So I feel like they've done that a lot where it's a monkey kind of with an element in a way, and it is done a lot too in Pokemon. I know. Um, with other animals, they have like a fire version of it, like a fire meerkat, and then they'll have like a water meerkat or something come up at some point. They mix the elements in there a little bit. It's quite interesting. I wanted to branch out a little bit more than that. I did kind of want an element, but I wanted to think out the box a little bit more. Um, so yeah, in the end, I decided, well, what if this monkey has multiple elements? And just went with that idea, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He could, um, each arm could be a different element, and then also his tail. I was thinking about like want to have his legs as well, like different elements, kind of a thing. Um, but then I thought that might be pushing it a little bit too much for this creature or this design, per se. Because yeah, it is, yeah, pushing it a little bit too much on the kind of not cohesive enough. It's all over the place, kind of a thing. But yeah, it didn't really sit well with this creature for me in any way. In the end. So I had brought in the fire through its ears, the marmoset ears, kind of a thing. And electric for its arms. Um, Very vague looking electric. I didn't have like a lot of time to focus in and kind of get things looking right. Um, but I try to make a gist of where everything was. And this, yeah, 90-minute art challenge, just trying to get it down and get the kind of concept understood, basically, is what I'm going for. Um, really rendering out those aspects of things, to me, isn't totally the most important with this piece. It's definitely not. Um, it is helpful, to have it fully rendered because you can do more with it. But for me, this isn't. This piece is more just a bit of fun, a 90-minute art challenge. It's not like going on my portfolio or anything. Um, Although some of these creatures look pretty cool that I've done lately, so I may, give one kind of creature a proper render maybe at some point. Um, if I feel the urge to, or feel the need to. to add it kind of to my portfolio if I need to. For now, I'm okay. But yeah, it's this is an evolution line, so basically this is stage one kind of this creature, and then my mate Chris will then go and one up it, make it its next evolution, and then I have done a third evolution of this creature. Which has been a lot of fun starting out with like a Marmoset, and there's lots of ways you can go about it. I think it gives kind of a fresh take on things sometimes when um, you do you do that kind of thing. You collaborate, because it shows like where you could take it, because I'm sure you can come up with plenty interesting ideas, but just having someone else bring some other interesting ideas or take it a different way, make it, um, he maybe you think of making it ginormous and evolving it, making, him have bigger hands and bigger legs or something, and then someone could take it and make it look smaller, basically, um make things smaller and other things bigger, maybe, or less showing, or take things away. Maybe it loses its tail for some reason. It could lose its tail, maybe its tail falls off and becomes a staff or something like that. There's all these interesting aspects that could um, be taken, and how it uses it and evolves, and almost creates a new creature in the way. So it's interesting to see where your painting ends up. Your design, um, rather than you always designing it and then changing it, someone else is changing it. So it gives another aspect, and that's really interesting to see, and it kind of makes you think outside the box sometimes. Especially like the third evolution. It's like, oh, what has he done with evolution too? And sometimes it gets to the point where, yeah, the same kind of thing occurs. Like you would have done that for you would have both done that for stage two kind of a thing. You can get that a little bit sometimes. Oh, you're thinking the same kind of thing, maybe, and same idea that his arms would get bigger or his legs would get taller or something like that. Same kind of aspect, to it. But even then, you still have a slightly different take on it, which can be interesting. Like there's parts he might add or something, and I'd be like, okay, he's added this little like um leaf or pine cone, or he's added this, um the fire goes somewhere else now, or he's changed something, and it's like, okay, I could use this and morph it differently, or um yeah, I don't know. There's all sorts you can do, which is why it's loads of fun. I do recommend just having some fun with your mates and doing this challenge, because it's really cool. Um, and you don't have to do like animals. You can do anything really. But it's lots of fun. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's awesome. And I learned quite a bit from this. A bit of playing around with lighting effects. Here I'm making the fur feel like the fire's lighting it up, kind of a thing. I'm trying to get that whole aspect going. Um, so it gives me, 90 minutes is not bad, because it gives me time to play around with trying to make things look like, things, but it's not enough time to just spend so much time on like little details that don't, you know, really matter too much. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you learnt something new. Keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video.